Prime Minister Narendra Modi has asked India sportspersons to play a leading role in spreading the message about social distancing during the current lockdown. Some, including tennis star Sania Mirza, have gone a step further and are helping in providing food to those most affected. Sania Mirza told WION sports editor Digvijay Singh Digo that she felt guilty after watching pictures of migrant workers fleeing the cities and decided to pitch in.
My guest today needs no introduction. You can see her on your screens. She's a Khel Ratna awardee. She has former world #1 in tennis and is a 6-time Grand Slam champion as well. Sania Mirza, let me start by asking you, we're almost 3 weeks into this lockdown. How have you been?
I've been good, healthy, which is the most important thing right now. So, been good. I came back from America about a little bit more than a month ago, just in time before the lockdown started, actually. So I was lucky enough to get back. And then, I've actually been in quarantine for over 3 weeks because I came and I self-isolated for 2 weeks. And then the lockdown started in the middle of my self-isolation. So I've literally been in the house for over a month now. So, but it's been good. I mean, at this point, I think being healthy is most important. So
everyone seems to sort of accept now that, this is nature sort of hitting back. It's like we've all got together and nature's hit the reset button because we've all been pushing nature so much.
Also, like going out for a walk has become a luxury. It's really become as basic as that. And I think that we did take everything for granted. And I really think that this is really an eye-opener in terms of the amount of hate that was going on in the world. I think this has really put everything in perspective, knowing that if you don't have health, there's really no point in hating someone, because really, if you're not going to live, it's really irrelevant, everything else. So I think there was so much of sort of animosity and everything is sort of gone away. And all of a sudden, everybody's just bothered about being healthy, staying home, and we're all fighting this as a united unit. And I think that that's what humanity is really about. And that's how I see it. And I do think that at some level, now that you have a month, I've been in the house, I do think that at some level, maybe as human beings, we had forgotten to be human on some levels. And I think that maybe we needed this. We needed sort of, a higher power. We needed God to tell us, listen, guys, you guys are losing it. Like, you really need to sort of reset, like you said.
What you've been doing is excellent. You've been providing food along with your family. You have all got together. This is, more than 1 lakh people you all have been feeding over the last so many days. Just tell us a bit more about that and how that came about.
Yeah, we do a lot of work with a lot of underprivileged people throughout the year. And obviously, it's not something that I like to talk about so much. And it's just something that I don't do. But this crisis is too large for a single individual to do certain things, which is why I needed to come out and sort of, ask for support and stuff. And, when it was a few common friends of mine in Hyderabad that were tied up with this NGO. And when we saw, it was actually one of Anam's best friends. And when we saw that they were doing this work, I obviously went and first I donated. And when I donated, I actually was thinking about doing something like this. But on an individual level, like I said, it's a lot harder to do it. Like when because you need a lot of things to go into place, permissions. There's so many things when you're getting into feeding lakhs of people. It gets down to a lot of issues. So when I heard about this, I said, you know what, I'm going to join with this NGO, which was the Safa Society at that point. And then it became a movement, which is called the Youth Feed India movement, which is what it's become today. And, we stand at, till last week, we had made about 1.25 crores of charity that had come in. My friends stepped up. I got a lot of my, family. There were so many people, but it was a collective effort. We all were doing it together. There's a bunch of people in Hyderabad who are involved. There's some in Bangalore. There's some in Chennai. It's a complete youth sort of effort. And it made me really proud to be associated with someone like that. We've almost come up to 2.5 crores. We've raised about 2.5 crores in a couple of weeks. And imagine the amount of families and the people that we are feeding. I mean, it's amazing. Really, it's amazing. But the problem is that no matter what you do is less today. And we are in such a crisis, so it's an ongoing effort, and it's something that we're still trying to build, because no matter what you do, it's almost a time where I was telling someone the other day, I said, sometimes I feel guilty to be privileged when I see certain pictures on television, and when you see some videos of people walking with their kids on their shoulders for 700 kilometers, and you're thinking you're sitting in a house with and you're so privileged and you're so blessed to be in this house, and so it almost makes you feel a little bit guilty, and you want to do whatever you can.